Hi, I'm Dave. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to tell you a little story about when I was in the Navy. So I went into the Navy after high school. I graduated through some of the first courses and classes in the Navy, obviously boot camp. I went through my first amount of my first training, which was electronics training, and then I found my way to aircrew school. So one of the interesting things about aircrew school is when we start the training, you start with what it's like to live and survive in and over the water. Obviously, it's the Navy. I'm going to be in a boat or I'm going to be flying over the water. And one of the most important things that gets stressed upon us initially is shoes, how important shoes are. If you're walking through a jungle or through a swamp or somewhere, having shoes is pretty important. If you're walking up a beach, you're walking through coral and barnacles and stuff like that, having shoes on is pretty important. Now I knew that. I was from Florida and I've walked on coral before. I've slid on a rock and I've fell on barnacles and cracked my skin open and needed stitches. So I got the whole thing about how important shoes were. But it's not enough just to get how important it is. They have to prove it to everybody in the entire class. Again, I was from Florida, so I got it. Maybe the people that were from Missouri or from Iowa or wherever they were from, maybe they didn't understand how important those shoes were. So they had to prove it. One of the things with shoes is when you go into the water with shoes on, especially combat boots, it's very difficult to keep them on. It's really easy to bend over, float a little bit and kick those shoes off and try to be able to kick. But it's really important to have those shoes when you start trying to wade ashore. So the one thing that they wanted to try to teach us is that we could tread water for, I think it was 18 minutes with combat boots on. I'm just going to say it was impossible. I think we had, I don't know, 4 or 5 times to try before we got washed out and either kicked back to the beginning of the course or we just were not in aircrew anymore. And I got to tell you, treading water for 18 minutes with combat boots on, it wasn't impossible, but it was impossible for me. I saw some people tread the water, swim to the side, and get out, and they were done. I just could not do it. I swam my entire life. I was born and raised in Florida. I swam my entire life, but never with combat boots on. So I can remember trying, I think it was 3 or 4 times. After 12 or 15 minutes, I'd go underwater. I would think I was going to drown. I would raise my hand for help. They would tow me to the side, and I would get out, try to catch my breath back and get my life back. And I would gain my spirit again and try to do it again. And I kept doing it over and over again until I got to the point where they said, hey, look, if you can't complete this, you're out. You're going to be out of this. Now, I didn't want to get booted. I wanted to complete aircrew school. I mean, it was a pride thing as well as just trying to be successful and get to the next step. But I got to the very end point where I had to either decide I'm either going to achieve, I'm going to die, or I'm going to quit. I knew I wasn't going to die. I didn't want to quit. I wanted to achieve. So I tried, I think, I don't know, it was 3 or 4 times, jumping off the diving board or jumping off the side and jumping into the water. I would tread water for, I don't know, 8 or 9 minutes. No problems. I got this. But I would wear myself out those last, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes and just almost drown. So I got to my last chance, and I knew it was my last chance. I knew this was it. I was either going to succeed or I was going to fail and be done. Well, I didn't want to fail and be done. I had to give myself a little bit of strength to continue and succeed. So as I was thinking, I should quit. I should be done with this before I drown in front of all my friends. I told myself I just need to relax, lean back, and keep kicking. And this is actually something that I learned, 30, 40 years ago. And even today, life can be so difficult that I feel like I'm going to drown. And you may feel the same way. But what I can tell you is that if you relax, lean back, and keep kicking, you're going to get through this. Somehow it's going to work out. So if you're ready to quit, you think it's done and it's over, listen, relax, lean back, and keep kicking. This is what I want to give to you as something that's kept me going for 40 years, 30 years, through all the problems and the hard times that I've been through. Even now, I'm having to use this almost every day. I just have to relax, lean back, and keep kicking. I hope this is helpful to you. If somehow this makes sense and helps you get through any kind of problems you're dealing with, do me a favor. Subscribe to my channel. That'd be very helpful. I would appreciate it greatly. And send me a note. I'd love to hear a comment. I respond to all comments. I hope you have a great day. And again, relax, lean back, and keep kicking. You got this, okay? Have a good day.